Bonjour everyone, today we're making one of my favorite red curry coconut chicken noodle soup, and it is called Khaub Poob. And Khaub Poob is a delicious red curry soup that is served over rice vermicelli noodles, and then it's topped with all these delicious condiments such as shredded cabbage and herbs and all these other spices. The broth is amazing because it has shredded chicken in there and all these herbs and spices that makes the broth so rich and so intense in flavor, so delicious during this time of year when it's cold outside. We'll show you how we like to make ours in our family because everyone has their own way of making Khaub Poob. I just wanted to show you guys how we like to make ours, and a lot of you have requested to see how we like to eat ours, so I'm excited to show you guys how to make our version of Khaub Poob and what we like to add on top of it. So let's go make some Khaub Poob. Let's go. Excited. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is make the broth. I'm gonna boil the chicken first, and here you can see the chicken I have. This is my dad's homegrown chicken. You guys can go ahead and buy a chicken with bone on, so make sure you guys have chicken with bone on because it makes the broth super flavorful. I'm gonna go ahead and cook the whole chicken. This is a 4-pound chicken. Put it in the pot here, and then we're going to add in some water. I'm also going to add in a tablespoon of salt in here just to season the chicken. So I'm going to put that in there. And then we're going to close this, let it come to a boil and simmer it for about like 30 to 45 minutes until the chicken is soft enough to shred. Okay, so now we're gonna do the paste. We're gonna add in extra herbs and spices in there just to make it more flavorful. I have a food processor here. I'm just going to blend in all of my spices here. Okay, so I'm gonna add in the shallots, and then we're gonna add this. Gonna try some garlic, lemongrass, some palm sugar, salt, lime leaves, and this is some galangal all in there. So we're just going to pulse it. Should look like so nice fine paste here, and that's pretty much it for the extra herbs and spices. The way we like to shred our cabbage super fine is to buy a very tight and heavy cabbage. That means there's not going to be a lot of air pockets or holes in there, and then you cut it in half and leave the core on. The core will help you shred this better without falling apart. So we have that, and then I have one of these. So basically all you do is from side to side, you just shred it like this. And it becomes nice and shredded like this. Ooh. The same thing with the purple one, with the core on. See how it's nice and packed in here? And I'm gonna shred it. Just like that. And it becomes nice and shredded like this. So while the broth is cooking, you go ahead and prep your toppings, and these are our toppings that we like to use, like mint, cilantro, and green onions, and then we also like bean sprouts, and these are the long beans. And then we also have some shredded cabbage that I showed you guys how to shred earlier. What you guys can do is separate all these, and people can choose whatever toppings you guys like. But in our family, we don't care, so we're just gonna combine everything in one bowl. We're just gonna add all the herbs. To one bowl, and then you just gently mix it. And then once the bone's done, everyone can just grab a handful of this. And that's pretty much it for the toppings. Okay, so it's been about 40 minutes cooking this chicken. And then I'm gonna turn off the heat. And we're gonna take out this chicken. As you can see, I have the chicken skin on here, but if you guys don't like it, you guys can go ahead and discard it. But in our family, we're not picky, so I'm just gonna leave it on there. So I'm gonna take these out, let it cool, and then I'm gonna go pound it and shred it, and then we'll go ahead and start making the actual curry broth. All right. This liquid here, we are going to save it. This is going to be our broth that we're going to use today. So save that up. This should be a total of about between 2.5 to 3 quarts of broth. Should be enough for this recipe. I'm going to strain the liquid so I can get strain all the impurities in here. So now we're going to go ahead and do the curry paste and the herbs and the spices. So we'll leave this to the side because we gotta saute the curry paste. Okay, so now we're gonna do our curry paste saute, and in the pan I have about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil. And then in that oil we're going to add in that paste that we made earlier. Yeah, so this paste here, we're gonna saute it. Alright, starting to brown a little bit. It's been about 3 to 4 minutes so far. Now we're going to add in the curry paste. And this one is the Namya curry paste. Flavor. Add that in there. And we're also going to add in the red curry paste here. A little bit of spice and that color as well. So I'm going to saute this for about 4 minutes to 5 minutes. Okay, so this has been cooking for about 4 minutes and it's starting to stick to the bottom a little bit. So now I'm going to add in the shredded chicken. So the shredded chicken, I did it by hand for the dark meat, but with the white meat, I use a mortar and pestle to make it a little bit finer, just because it tends to be a little dry if you cut it into bigger pieces in there. So make it finer if you guys want, but you guys can just hand shred it too if you want to. It's really up to you. Add that in there. Alright, so that's good. Just till the curry kind of coats all the chicken. And then we're going to switch over to the broth. We got that chicken broth that we made earlier here. To this broth that we made earlier, we're going to add in the curry saute. Careful not to splatter yourself! Alright, we're going to add in some coconut cream in here. The reason why I use coconut cream is because it's a lot thicker. So it makes this broth a little bit thicker in consistency. So now we're going to add our bamboo shoots, and I have two kinds. This is the smaller version one, and then this one is the one that comes in whole, and then I just slice it up into smaller pieces. I like both of these textures, so it's up to you guys, whichever one you guys like to use. You can use either or. Just in here. And this is totally optional too, if you guys want to. This is meatballs. I have chicken meatball here. If you guys want to, you guys can add it in, or you guys don't. You don't have to add it in. It's totally optional. I just like it in there. So I'll add this in here as well. And then to this, we're going to add in some fish sauce. We're going to add in 1 block of chicken bouillon in there. We're also going to add in some more lime leaves. Some salt here. Stir this up. So we'll cover this up and come back in 25 minutes or so. In the meantime, go ahead and finish cooking your noodles. So we'll come back. I'm just using the store-bought ones, but you guys can use the my recipe. I have a recipe for fresh vermicelli noodles if you guys want to make it, but this time around I'm just going to use the dried ones. I soaked this overnight in water, so it's faster to cook. Keep stirring this as you go, or else it's going to stick to the bottom. I'm sure some of you have experienced that before, the nightmare of burning vermicelli in the bottom of the pot, because I've done it before. The noodles are cooked, and I drained the hot water, and now I'm just pouring cold water in here so that it doesn't overcook. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, how are we gonna set this up into individual size pieces? So you want to use your thumb, your pointer, and your middle finger, and it's gonna be like the claw. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go in here, grab a nice decent stack, and then just let it swing up like that, and that's about it. Place it on your strainer like this, just like that, so you get individual pieces, just like that. Super easy. Woohoo! Now the broth is ready and it's nice and reduced. So now we're gonna go and plate the bowl. So how do you plate this? We are going to add in some noodles in here. Just like that. And then we're just going to ladle the broth over it. And then after that, you can add in the fresh herbs that we made earlier. A little bit on top. And if you guys want, you guys can add some lemon on the side, lime on the side, whatever works for you guys. And then I'm gonna add in some of my mom's chili garlic oil on top. I want it spicy. And that's pretty much it. Looks so good.